welcome into your spooky season reading. So today we are going to take a look at your spirit team or your spirit guides and hope that they come through to provide you with a message for spooky season. So I'm calling it spooky season because people call it different things depending on your belief system and what you subscribe to. So happy Samhain, happy Halloween, happy Day of the Dead, and whatever other tradition I am missing. So we're going to go in and ask Spirit a few questions. First, we're going to try to get Spirit to come through and see which Spirit is working with you at this time. We're going to take a look at your current situation and ask what Spirit wants you to focus on that is for your highest good. And then ask how Spirit is helping you get through this situation. And then see what important message they want to tell you. And then we're going to look into a couple of oracle cards for the spooky season. So if you're interested in doing some witchcraft or intention work, see which cards come out from these oracles to help you along these activities and what would be good for you to do this season. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, Gemini. Take a deep breath, get comfortable. What is coming through for the Gemini? Which spirit is coming through for the Gemini group that I'm picking up on today? Gemini spirit guide, Gemini spirit team. Which guide is coming through for the Gemini this time? Gemini. Ooh, Two of Cups. All right. Now, for some of you, this particular spirit guide has relationship energy. So this could be a loved one who has passed. It could be a soul mate that I want to say it could be a soulmate who chose not to incarnate in this life. Okay. So if you're listening to this type of reading already, you subscribe to the element of spirit and spirit guides, right? So it is making me feel like this person has some sort of soul connection, romantic connection. It's not a person, I'm sorry, this energy has some sort of soul connection that could have been romantic in some way, shape, or form. If you subscribe to the idea of soulmates or kindred spirits, something like that, this could be it. But they're just not in the physical world. They don't have a physical body. They don't have a vessel. Okay, they're coming through in their energetic form. Right? This spirit, what the biggest thing that this spirit helps you with, or like how you communicate or how it communicates with you, is through the mirror. Okay, and I'm sorry, I don't want you to get scared, but this could be the literal mirror. It could be when you're looking at yourself, you're looking at a reflection of them as well. And this could also be mirroring. So maybe you have a tendency to mirror other people when you are in different relationship dynamics or communicating with different people, or mirroring your environment. In these moments where you find yourself needing to step out of your natural form to mirror for whatever reason, this is a time when this guide is very present and communicates with you. So whether you pick up on it or not, right? Because a lot of times when spirit is trying to communicate with us, we ignore it and we think that it was just a fluke. It was a fluke of our imagination. It was a glitch in the matrix. It was just a vision that we thought it's our imagination, our self-talk, like however, right? Because spirit can show up in so many different forms, like there's no way to quantify that. But in this case, it makes me feel like they show up when you are looking at a reflection of yourself, whether that's literally or symbolically, or they show up when you're mirroring another person or environment in some way. I'm also getting that if you ever find yourself in the middle where you cannot make a decision, and it's like you're meeting something in the middle, or you cannot go one side or the other, right? Like you have a difficult time with picking or choosing something. This is also when this spirit comes through. There is something about a shadow or shadows as well. I do think that this particular energy has some sort of edge to it where they're not all love and light, which nothing is in this world. But their dark side is prominent. And even in the light, they remain dark. I don't know what that means. But there's something about even in the light, this stays dark. Maybe you find it hard when you are surrounded by light energy. You have a hard time relating to it. You relate more with the dark energy, and this spirit is dark. This is your companion. This is your ride or die. This is the energy that is with you no matter what. You can do no wrong. You could be the worst human being in the world and they will still have your back. Okay, there's no end to the love that they have for you. There's no, like, right, like I'm feeling this so strongly it's hard to put into words, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. There's nothing that you can do wrong. They will always love you. They will always be here with you. There's no separation. Okay, even though you're in this 3D environment, on this planet, incarnated into a human body, and they're not, and they're still in energetic form, there's still no separation. They are you are them, like made from the same thing here. Okay, somehow, some way. All right. So what is your current situation? Let's see what's up with the Gemini at this time. What is the spirit helping you through? Eight of Cups. The Emperor. I'm getting power dynamics. What else? What's Gemini's current situation, please? Strength. And King of Cups. Okay. So power dynamics for sure. I'm getting also an element of getting your way and accomplishing something or succeeding somewhere. Your focus right now is balancing the ebb and flow of your feelings and your emotions. For some reason, you need to stay strong for something. It could have to do with losing your power in a certain part of life. Maybe you have no control over a particular situation. You have no control of an outcome. You want and desire a specific outcome, but you're finding it really hard to get your way. And a big reason could be the fluctuation of the highs and lows that you may be dealing with, the imbalance or needing to balance, and come to more of like an equilibrium, aligned self. Maybe your nervous system is like going a little crazy, right? Maybe your emotions are up and down. Maybe your hormones are up and down and fluctuating. But that's because there's something about the uncertainty and you not being able to really take control over how something is playing out. You have the King of Cups, so you're coming from a really loving place and you're doing everything you can to master these emotions. All right. There's a need to be strong. There's a need to really be like this warrior energy to maybe protect something that's more innocent. So this could be a more innocent form of self, or an external innocence, like a child, or something, or someone who cannot do for themselves in some way. And you're doing it with all of your love, all of your heart. At the same time, there's a depth of emotion and a depth of feeling that goes along with this. And you're trying to like balance yourself. Okay. So a Gemini who's doing everything they can to stay balanced, and they don't have the freedom to fluctuate and to go up and down and all around, it's probably difficult. Okay. The situation is calling for you to stay still. The situation's calling for you to be in control of self during a time of uncertainty and during a time where you can't control a external situation. So I can understand how this is a little difficult. And I think that this spirit is wanting to help you in ways of like, stay calm, stay still, stay calm, stay still. And then there's also this thing of like, just look at me, look at me, look at me, right? So I don't know if there's like manic moments or moments of really high anxiety or something like that, where maybe you have to look at yourself in the mirror and then just like breathe. Okay, during these moments, this spirit guide is there. And if you haven't done that, maybe that's a good way to manage these high and low moments, these fluctuating thoughts and anxieties that you may have. And it's like looking at yourself and it's just like, you got this, you're okay. Take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, right? Like, look at me, stay focused on me. Don't look at the external, just look at me. So that way you don't get overwhelmed with the stuff that's happening around you and you're just focused on one thing at a time. I don't know. That could be how this spirit wants to come through. Because I did say there was like looking in the mirror are moments where spirit is there. All right, so let's get a sense of how spirit, or what spirit thinks you should be focused on right now. What does the spirit want you to be focused on to really help you through this situation? Oh, wow. 10 of Cups. Just think of the love, okay? Just think of the family. Think of your support system. Think of why you're doing this to begin with. Telepathy. Telepathy, transmission, perception, communication. Is there someone in your life that you're telepathic with? I think that this spirit guide, like, there's no reason. How can I say, like, there's no reason to be telepathic unless they're coming through in a physical form. Unless they're coming through in a body. Maybe for some of you, your spirit guide is in a body, is an earth guide, right? Like, they're a person. And they're the ones that love you the most. Whoever that is, you know who that is. But what does spirit want you to focus on? It's very like overwhelming of a feeling for me to articulate this, because all this spirit wants you to focus on is them. That's it. Like I'm getting the chills. Like, it's like just me, right? The spirit is coming through and saying, I just want them to focus on me, and that's it. Super controlling, super present, okay, in your life somehow. Focusing on them, focusing on the love. And this situation will play itself out. There's no need to be so anxious and fearful here. Okay, it will play itself out because it's coming from a place of love, because there's love involved. Because the love is involved, there's no going wrong. This spirit feels also very primordial, like from the earth, and ancient, or if it's a person, their soul is super old. If it's an ancestor, obviously their soul is super old. I'm also getting that some of you need to go visit a family member or somebody who's passed at a grave site. Not need to, but you should. Like, they're waiting for it. They're waiting for you to go see them. Roses are of significance, and going, like looking at water, drinking water, being in water, is also significant here, like washing away the sorrows, like I'm also getting like go outside in the rain. Like the rain is symbolic for cleansing. There's something about focusing on cleansing and just the love. Like that's it. If you're getting these thoughts come through and you think it's like self-talk or something like that, like there is someone in your life or your environment that maybe the spirit uses to communicate with you. And maybe it's like you can hear their voice in your head, right? Like sometimes people are like I don't know, I'm just giving an example. Like my friend will tell me, like, I heard your voice say do this, blah blah blah, like because of how I speak, because of my beliefs, because of what would I say, right? Like what would I say in this situation? And so therefore she hears me say it, right? Like something like that. It's like they use another person in your life to communicate through. So you hear this physical person in your life's voice come through when you're in a situation and you don't know what to do or how to calm yourself down or something like that. Like spirit is pushing this telepathic communication that way. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's what spirit wants you to focus on. Now, how is the spirit helping you? What does it look like? I think we have a lot of information already on how spirit is helping for sure. Work, doing something, helping you find work. The Emperor also has to do with work. 10 of Pentacles, yeah. Spirit is helping in the form of helping you financially in some way. They do a lot of work when it comes to you getting the funds and the money that you need. They do a lot of work when it comes to your career and you pushing yourself like toward the right career, the direction that they give you, putting you in the right place at the right time, opportunities even. They're there when you're building. They're there when they've been there the entire way, the life that you've been able to make for yourself financially, materially, they've helped along the way. Okay. They help you build your empire. They're helping you build your lifestyle. This is how spirit is helping you with material, right? So for a lot of you, this spirit is your earth, like counterpart, is your partner. It's your husband, wife, life partner in some way. They could even be your work partner either as well, right? Because they're helping you materially, physically here with these pentacle cards. Wow, that's awesome. Okay. So spirit can tell you anything. Doesn't have to do with this reading. what would they want to tell you? If this spirit could tell you anything, what would it be? Oops. I guess so. Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Doing a lot of work when it comes to past life grievances, or even this life's past experiences. Like, you're not your past. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're different. You're not how you grew up. You're not the neighborhood or the environment that you grew up in, or you're not the kid that you grew up as, right? Like, you changed, you've released, you've let go some of these things that would hold you back, right? Like, spirit is telling you to unattach, detach, disassociate. You know, like the self-talk, when you say, I am this, I am that. Are you really, like, disassociate? How can I say, like, the pain or the hurt that people have caused you, you're not the victim, you know? Unravel yourself from previous energies, unravel yourself from the past is the important message that Spirit wants you to know. If you are stuck in a relationship or patterns, behaviors that you once had before in relationships, and I'm saying this because of the Two of Cups, like, unbound yourself from that. It doesn't always have to come back to this. People that say, this is just how I am. People that say, this is how I was raised. You know, this is what I was taught. Fake BS, right? Like, that's all BS, because we are not that. We are what we create ourselves to be. Sensitivity. The frequency of sensitivity helps us open to the world of subtlety and detail while anchoring in a structural foundation, thus supporting us to become more fully multidimensional. Subtlety and detail while anchoring in a structural foundation. This is making me feel like being aware of the small things, paying attention to how the universe speaks, to how spirit speaks. Okay, I always say the universe doesn't speak the English language. You know, the universe speaks through synchronicity, through symbolism, through patterns, through symbols, right? And so picking up on these details, picking up on these little moments, and really, like, knowing that there's a message here for you from your spirit team, from the universe itself. These are messages that this spirit guide wants you to know. Look at the details, look at the small things. The small things matter, the small things count. You know, paying attention, being aware, being present to these moments, right? If you find yourself already aware of those moments and you think that that is not appreciated, it is. Okay, that's how spirit speaks with you. And then the biggest thing here is unbind yourself from past energies. All right, so let's go into the last part of this reading. So how can you work with the energy of this spooky season in the form of witchcraft or intention work? If you choose to, we're going to pull from the Oracle of the Witch. Crone. All right, maybe some of you would benefit from meeting or having a day out or going to visit an older woman. Okay, it could be your grandmother, it could be your mother, you know, somebody who has wisdom and experience. Maybe you'd benefit by, maybe you're ready to be a crone, and this season it's time for you to initiate yourself and really accept and welcome in this new transition of your wisdom and your experience. But there is transmutation and transformation here happening with the crone energy. Change is here. How can you work with this Halloween, this Samhain? I do want to say in the form of ritual and solidifying your presence as a wise, all-knowing entity, energy, physical being on this planet. I do think that there could be things that have to do with sleep, dreams, astral projection happening here as well. If you find that you're aging, your hair's aging, your skin is aging, this is also an indicator that you're transforming into a more powerful, wise being. All Hallows Eve, call upon the voices that stir your senses through the night. Cast an unforgiven howl as you stomp your might through the ground. Yeah, I do think on the 31st, or at least like the 31st of October, 1st of November, is a good time for you to do some sort of ritual here. And it's about your wisdom, and it's about your experience that you've been through so far. It's about owning it and loving it, loving who you are, what you've been through, accepting these things, and really like turning it into power. Because essentially all of the experiences that we have and everything we've gone through just makes us more powerful, right? And so on this night, appreciating and being grateful to the earth, God, source, spirit, for the life that you've lived thus far, for everything that you've gone through, to provide you with this sense of wisdom and experience. And then you can share and help others. But on this night is like a big transition, if you want it to be, of transformation into more powerful form of self. All right. Okay, Gemini, that is your spooky season reading. I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. If you did, click the like button. I would appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And happy Halloween, happy Samhain, happy Day of the Dead. Have a fun, safe time. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.